Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Some cloudy skies covering up the sun as we anticipate rounds of rain today, but thankfully no major impacts to traffic this afternoon. Roadways looking clear if you're getting out in the next few minutes. However, of course, you could experience a lunchtime rush though, so make sure you take your time and take it easy out there. We're going to head straight over to the weather department where we have meteorologist Scott Covert. Scott, we're expecting storms, and it appears behind you that some are even moving in now. It's been a slow moving system, but certainly we are seeing it inch ever so closer to the metro here at the lunch hour. Nothing severe right now. The potential overall is rather low, but it will start to come into focus as we approach the mid-afternoon hours, even continuing potentially into this evening for far southeastern Arkansas. Certainly a good soaking rain for western half of the state. That's generally moving towards the east northeast, but what's going to happen over the next few hours is we're going to see more of an eastward track of that system, which is going to bring it right into the metro area. In terms of what we can expect going forward, there is going to be rather breezy conditions continue for many of us. In fact, we've seen 40-mile-per-hour gusts at the Little Rock Airport already this morning, and those winds aren't going to let up anytime soon. In fact, the wind advisory in effect until about 7 o'clock tonight. Now, those are non-thunderstorm winds. You factor in the potential for some severe winds, and that's really going to be the highest the further south and east you go. We maintain that level 3 potential for far southeast Arkansas, level 2 in yellow, level 1 for the Little Rock area, and points towards the north. Severe weather will likely wrap up by later this evening. Before then, we'll see a pretty decent bed of rain, potentially those strong thunderstorms with temperatures running pretty steady in the mid-60s. What's next, you ask? Well, we are going to be turning our attention to a frost freeze potential by the middle part of the week. The latest temperature forecast there, plus a preview of what your Easter weekend could have in store, coming up in just moments.
All right, Scott, thank you. Well, the chance of showers could bring an increased risk of flooding in certain areas, which is why we want to share some tips that can help keep you and your vehicle safe. Remember, you should never attempt to drive through standing water. Instead, turn around, don't drown. You should also avoid walking or playing in flood waters because there's no telling what could be in it. And finally, if you see any dangerous water or trapped people, you should pick up the phone and dial 911. And construction crews are picking up where they left off on the Highway 67 widening project in Jacksonville. That project will resume tonight, so be on the lookout for lane changes. The plan is to reroute traffic from John Hardin Drive as the on-ramp to Highway 67 southbound will permanently shut down. Flying bullets sent one North Little Rock policeman to the hospital over the weekend. That officer is still recovering from the shocking incident that afternoon. It all happened close to the Proto Junction exit off of I-40 in North Little Rock yesterday afternoon. Now, police say as officers tried approaching a group of people, someone started firing several rounds just before they all took off. No word on who's responsible for the shooting, but the injured officer is expected to be okay. New details in a story we've been following for quite some time. Close to 100 lawsuits being filed against Dr. Brian Hyatt after being accused of holding patients against their will at the Northwest Medical Center Behavioral Unit in Springdale. Those people are now speaking out, sharing the details of their horrific experience.
Some of the other things that I've seen in there to other patients, you know, you didn't want that to happen to you, so you kind of just followed the rules and listened to what you were being told to do because they didn't hide what they were doing to other patients.
According to attorneys, over 140 clients all share a similar story. They believe the reasoning behind Dr. Hyatt's alleged actions was to carry out some sort of fraudulent billing scheme. More than 130 people are dead as terror unfolded at a concert hall in Russia this weekend. 4 people being held accountable for what's being called the deadliest attack in the country in the last 2 decades. 3 of those suspects pled guilty to setting the concert hall on fire. While Russian President Vladimir Putin is pointing the finger at Ukraine for the chaos, U.S. leaders say otherwise.
No, there is no whatsoever any evidence, and in fact what we know to be the case is that ISIS-K is actually, by all accounts, responsible for what happened.
In addition to those who died, over 180 people were also hurt during the incident. Crews are still working to sort through the debris left behind. Former President Trump making another appearance in court today, this time for the case surrounding hush money payments and another dealing with his bond payments. CBS's Jared Hill gets you caught up.
Former President Donald Trump appeared in New York County Criminal Court Monday morning in connection to hush money payments made to former adult film star Stormy Daniels.
This is a witch hunt, it's a hoax.
Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records as part of a cover-up scheme for payments to Daniels and others. Jury selection, set to begin today, was delayed due to new records produced in the case. Trump's attorneys want to push back the trial even further. A conviction in this case wouldn't prevent Trump from running for or being elected president, but another judgment could threaten to ruin his image as a successful businessman. Today was due day for a nearly $500 million bond covering a civil judgment that found Trump inflated the value of his properties and his net worth in order to secure favorable loans. But this morning, an appeals court judge granted a stay, giving Trump 10 days to pay a reduced bond of $175 million. The Attorney General had said she was ready to act if bond wasn't posted.
We will ask the judge to seize his assets.
Trump posted on social media without proof that he has nearly $500 million in cash, but said it's money he intended to use in his presidential campaign. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Well, new at noon, a position is opening up at Boeing's CEO announced he'll be stepping down at the end of the year. David Calhoun will leave the company amid ongoing safety concerns over quality control on Boeing jets. Adding to that, Boeing President Stan Deal plans to retire immediately, shifting control to the company's chief operating officer, Stephanie Pope. This all comes as Boeing has been under fire, intense fire, since January. Millions of people will experience a rare event in the sky in just a couple of weeks, including right here at home in Arkansas. But to do so, you need to make sure you're properly equipped. Experts encourage you to be on the lookout for counterfeit Eclipse glasses that look very similar to the real thing, so it's easy to get them mixed up. They say if you get a hold of these and end up using them, they could cause some damage. But of course, NASA says there's a few ways to avoid falling into the trap.
Take your Eclipse glasses and find a bright light, like a lamp or a flashlight. Hold your Eclipse glasses up to the light and look through them. The light will appear extremely dim or not appear at all when looking through the glasses.
Eclipse glasses are at least 1,000 times darker than the very darkest ordinary sunglasses.
If you're still trying to get your hands on legit eyewear, the American Astronomical Society has a list of authorized dealers posted on their website. Now, here's something you won't have to worry about much: phone service. According to Verizon's Senior Director of Network Performance, they've been upgrading their towers to 5G in hopes of bringing you the best connection during high volume times. The director adds their team is heavily monitoring the network. And for any and all resources surrounding the April 8th eclipse, THV11 has you covered. If you need information, you can get it directly to your mobile device. Just text the word eclipse to 501-376-1111, and we'll send you a link to everything you need to know. Plenty of questions remain about what lies deep in our oceans. Just ahead, a look at how new technology could provide some answers. Scott?
If you're looking for some rain and some thunderstorms, we've got that forecast for you. You got rain moving closer and closer to the metro. It's slow moving. Could see some strong storms. We're tracking that risk as we go into the afternoon hours. Plus a look ahead of what's next this week and a preview of your Easter weekend forecast, all straight ahead.